As we spoke last time about the note values, the whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes, we might as well take that idea today and extend it into your rests. First of all, we saw that a whole note took up an entire bar. It's all 4 beats of a 4/4 bar. If we divide that in half, we get 2 half notes. Half of those 4 beats would be 2, so each half note gets 2 beats. We count them 1, 2, and then 3, 4 if they're in the same bar. We divide those in half to get quarter notes. 4 of those fill a bar, so they get 1 beat each. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4. There are corresponding rests for each of those. These are the symbols for the whole and the half rests. Very often what teachers will point out is that this one looks like this. It looks like a hat. So you can think of the HA sound in hat and equate that to your half rest. And then they'll say that we filled it up. It got heavy and it fell down and hangs off the line now. So the half becomes a whole. It's now heavy and hangs down. Another aspect to taking that hat and flipping it over, I like to draw like this, and I point to the center there. And I'll have students answer, what am I pointing to with this arrow? Hopefully they recognize that that's the hole in the hat. If you don't mind homonyms, then HOLE, whole, can remind us of WHOLE, whole, for the whole rest. You can use the other concept if you like, where it got full and it droops down. So our whole rest, just like a whole note, will take up an entire bar. The half rest will get 2 beats of the bar. The quarter note has a corresponding quarter rest. It's that rather stylized squiggle, and you could get 4 of those in a bar. As we divide our quarter notes into eighth notes, they become half a beat. They can either have these little flags or a pair of them sitting together in the space of one full quarter note can have their beams touch. You could have 4 of them on either side of the bar line where the beams join 4 of them. The corresponding rest to that looks like a little stylized 7 and drawn just as a little tick. We didn't look at 16th notes before, but as we're dividing we can do them as well. 1 note per bar gets a whole bar, 2 notes in a bar get half a bar, 4 notes in the bar get a quarter of the bar, 8 notes in the bar get an eighth of the bar. If we divide those in half, then they were half a beat. If we divide them in half, we get 4 per beat. So that's 16 in a bar, a quarter of a beat each. 1 E and A gets 1 beat, 2 E and A, 2 beats, and so on. Those are your 16th notes. I've only introduced them now just so I can show you the 16th rest. Just like we've added an extra beam or an extra flag to the note to make a 16th out of an 8th, we just add another little tick to the 8th rest to get a 16th rest. The rests are actually silences. They're not just the absence of playing, but the playing of silence. If I had a bar of quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest, you would see that I played on beat 1 and 3. And if I played those without actually resting, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would actually sound just like playing half notes. But if the music said quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest, they want silence on beat 2 and 3, not just a lack of another note. The way we silence our guitar is to mute it or damp it. If it's a big open chord like this, I would have to damp the strings with my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why we talk about rests as being played. You play your rests. If it were something else, if it were a single note like this G, and I wanted it to quit playing, I could damp with my right hand. Usually it's sufficient just to release the pressure a little on the left and let it die. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To be honest, guitar players don't always mute their notes during rests. We do often consider it sufficient just to not play again. And because the guitar has died out, that usually works. But to actually do them, you want to consider that you're playing your rests. You are killing the string and damping it. Here I've written some examples of practice exercises that I would do. As I did with the notes, you can fill entire pages with these. You could have an entire line that has this quarter rest, quarter note pattern, and then another line that has this half rest, quarter note pattern. And you play the entire line of that over and over and over until you're good at it, then move on. Here I'm going to play through all of this once. I want to point out a few things though. Something that hasn't come up yet is the concept of the imaginary bar line. In the middle of the bar, we try not to have notes or rests that go across it. Here we can see I want 3 beats of rest. I'll take one side with the half rest. The other side, the other 2 beats are occupied by a rest and a quarter note. Here I have the same thing. The left side is a quarter note and a rest. The second side is the half rest that looks like a hat. In my last bar, you can see that the middle of the bar, there's 2 beats, beats 2 and 3, with rests. Theoretically, the half rest could have done that. You could take both those beats with one of these hats with the half rest. So I could have a quarter note on beat 1, a half rest on beats 2 and 3, and a quarter note on beat 4. But there's a convention that developed that helps us count, and it's useful because of the way our eyes will divide our bars, where we take that bar and we try to make 2 equal halves out of it. So you read the left half and the right half, avoiding overlap through the middle of the bar as possible, so that we can subdivide the entire bar just like we've subdivided our music. I'm just going to play through all of this with chords. Again, you should actually play one bar over and over and over again until by sight you recognize how to play that and how it will sound. Actually, to create rests, I better not use a G chord. I'm going to use a chord I can damp easily, so I'm going to use an F. By releasing the F, I don't have ringing notes, so I can get rests with this better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Half notes. 3, 4. 1, 2. Rest. Rest. 1. Rest. 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 1. Rest. Rest. 4. For your benefit, I said rest whenever I was resting. You can do that, or you can count. I'll do it again by counting. I'll play a little faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are your rests. Half rest looks like a hat. Quarter rest is the squiggle. Whole rest looks like the hat that fell over. When it did, you can see the hole in the top. So that's a nice, quick, easy one. We'll leave it at that. And I'm going to move on to Snake Charmer next. And then we're going to return to some chords and riffs after that. Have a good one. Talk to you guys later. Bye.